know you did it. Ain't nobody got to lie on you. You killed my sister. Look at you just sitting right there looking guilty as, because he's guilty, y'all. Look at his face. Look at his face, y'all. Look how guilty he is.
Between 2023 and 2025, two young mothers, both carrying new life, would be shot dead in the most gruesome way, all because they refused to kill their own unborn babies. In Birmingham, Alabama, 27-year-old Raisha Herd, pregnant and full of plans for the future, was gunned down outside her parents' home in DeKalb County, Georgia. She had just returned with groceries, her 8-year-old son by her side. The horrifying moment was captured on a doorbell camera and witnessed by her child, evidence that would later expose the man responsible for her death. And in Toledo, Ohio, 34-year-old Tamisha Price, 8 months pregnant with her daughter Malaysia, was ambushed inside her own home. Her children, like Raisha's, were forced to watch as their mother's life was taken before their eyes. Hours before their final moments, both women appeared to be living life as usual, moving through routines, sharing updates, preparing for the days ahead. But behind the surface of ordinary life, what no one could predict was the dark twist in her tragic story. Together, their stories reveal the same haunting truth. Sometimes the most familiar spaces conceal the darkest realities. These are the tragic lives and deaths of Raisha Herd and Tamisha Price. Let's begin with the story of Raisha Herd. Before this horrifying day, 31-year-old Raisha Danielle Herd was a devoted mother of 2 boys with a 3rd child on the way. Tragically, one of her children would witness her murder. She was just beginning to enjoy the joys of motherhood with her new child when her life was stolen in an act of senseless violence.
B. She's stupid. What's up, Rajah? What's up, boy?
Those who knew her described her as a woman full of life, known for her infectious smile, her love for her children, and her close-knit relationship with her family.
I knew you was talking anyway.
It's like a surprise. Every other night, nothing will be getting mad. Jump too far, I'm statue, talk more, come on down. I'm this way, I'm going on the show. I'm gonna go, okay.
Tragically, her loving nature led her into a relationship with a man who would ultimately prove to be her worst nightmare. The man at the center of this tragedy was Justin Renee Lewis, also known by his stage name, Mad Music Collie.
Hey, look, this that gospel music, watch me taking to church. Remember times in front that mall, I was selling my merch. And I ain't never punched a clock, but I'm still putting in work. Cause you can't get no studio time when your pockets they hurt. So I stayed up on my grind and I made a way. Shooting for my goals that day, praying that I fade away. I got a tunnel vision for my sons, I'ma pay the way. A hero in their eyes, watch me come through and just say today. Started from the basement, now they can't say shit. I was 18 bumping me from over.
An aspiring rapper, Justin had dreams of making it big in the music industry. He had started to gain recognition, even meeting with big names like DJ Khaled and Diddy, all while trying to build his career.
This ain't South Central, but we menace to society. My old dog taught me how to get away with robbery. I'm a convict, I can't be part of no democracy. Before I turn state on my brother, I cop a plea. What a real love at, don't wait till they retire me. Same niggas up in my pistols, they probably plot on me. I see what niggas do for their clout and know the riot team. Hit you when you're down like a motherfucking soccer team. Money make the world go round, the more the merrier. The more niggas starve in the hood, it's more terrorists. Dreams turn to nightmares, shit gets scarier. The homeboy whack kids, and come Paul barrier. I gotta thank God cause he kept a nigga so blessed. The rappers gotta die just to get a big protest. It ain't no respect in the game and niggas know that. I bet your homie plotting on your queen, I take the Kodak.
That was nice, man.
Already. Up with me, Already. What's your IG? Mad Music Cali, M-A-D. Follow him on my Instagram over here more. I fuck with that. Appreciate that, Cali. Fuck with that, bro. Talk. Appreciate that. We spinning a bin for sure, again and again for sure. The roller cost 30, the Cuban cost 30, the pinky cost 10 for sure.
To the outside world, Justin seemed like a driven and responsible man, someone who could be trusted. And Raisha? She supported and believed in his talent. However, beneath the surface of ordinary life, what no one could predict was the dark twist in her tragic story. Before meeting Raisha, Justin had a history of abuse in his previous marriage to his first wife, Sydney Dalcour. In 2017, Sydney was found dead in her car outside an apartment. She had been shot. Sydney's tragic death, which occurred under suspicious circumstances in 2017, remains unsolved to this day. However, Sydney's family and friends believe something sinister had taken place. They had always suspected Justin had a hand in Sydney's death. They knew he had been abusive. Sydney's sister, Tracy Dalcour, described how on one occasion, Justin had beaten Sydney so badly that she was left with black eyes and was hospitalized for several injuries, including staples in her head.
So she was married to Justin for 5 years. He was really abusive to her. He fought her a lot, like he gave her black eyes.
Tracy and other family members had warned Sydney to leave him, but Sydney, still believing Justin could change, chose to stay. However, this decision would ultimately lead to her death. As the investigation deepened, Tracy Dalcour's suspicions about Justin would only grow. Sadly, the family had to live with the belief that law enforcement had failed them, allowing a potential killer to roam free. Despite the signs of abuse, Sydney's death was never fully investigated, and Justin was never held accountable for her death. But what investigators didn't realize at the time was that this tragic oversight would soon come back to haunt Raisha. Raisha, unaware of the extent of Justin's violent tendencies, entered into a relationship with him. Their relationship seemed to start off well, but it soon became clear that Justin's temper and possessiveness would cloud their future. When Raisha found out she was pregnant with his child, what should have been a joyful time turned dark. Justin made it clear that he didn't want the baby, and his threats and pressure for her to terminate the pregnancy started escalating. A few months before Raisha's death, Justin even attempted to shoot her, but the gun malfunctioned when the clip fell out. He admitted that he couldn't shoot her that day because the clip had fallen, but the terror and fear she must have felt that day are unimaginable. Despite the abuse and threats, Raisha didn't report him to the authorities. Perhaps she was hoping that things would improve, or perhaps she didn't want to stir up more trouble, especially with a baby on the way. She chose to stay silent, hoping that things would get better for the sake of her unborn child. But instead, her silence gave Justin the power he needed to take matters into his own hands. On October 11, 2023, after a visit to her parents' home, Raisha was tragically murdered. She was outside her parents' house unloading groceries with her 8-year-old son when Justin showed up in his car, lying in wait for over an hour and a half. Little did she know, he was back to complete what he didn't finish. Without warning, he ambushed her, firing 5 shots in front of her child, hitting her multiple times. Raisha was shot twice in the back, once in the chest, once in the leg, and once in the head. She fell to the ground in the driveway. After committing the brutal act, Justin fled the scene.
A DeKalb County family still reeling after someone shot and killed a young mother in the family driveway. It happened on Kelly Chapel Road. Raisha Herd's family tells Fox 5 her 8-year-old son watched it happen.
While the family was left grappling with the loss of Raisha and her killer being on the loose, what followed was even chilling. Justin, the man responsible for her death, seemed unfazed by the gravity of the situation. For 10 days, Justin roamed free, taunting Raisha's grieving family with posts on social media. He acted as if nothing had happened, mocking their pain, claiming he was being framed, and even calling Raisha someone he used to mess with, and denied any involvement in her death, even though it was clear he was the perpetrator.
This is a girl I used to mess with, you feel me? Like, so, I don't know what to say about that. I feel like if they people felt like this, they spreading the rumors through the internet.
But not only that, Justin accused Raisha's family of spreading rumors and suggested there was only a possibility that he could be the father of Raisha's unborn child.
Crazy how everybody try to bring you down when they really don't even know what's going on.
So the girl who got killed, that wasn't even your baby mama?
Nah. The one from now, like the one that they saying, it could have been a possibility, you feel me?
So that was your current girlfriend?
I ain't got no girlfriend at all. You feel me? Only thing is my wife. That's the only girl, you feel me, that ever, my wife.
It was as though he was enjoying the attention and distress his actions caused, demonstrating the complete lack of remorse for what he had done. But the family's grief would only be compounded more. Raisha's niece posted a message online that Justin was wanted by the police, and when Justin saw it, he liked the post, further aggravating the family. He took joy in their suffering, giving them the impression that he thought he was untouchable. But eventually, after days of evading capture, Justin was apprehended. On October 19, 2023, he was located in Forest Park and taken into custody. He was charged with first-degree murder, and his arrest provided a sense of safety and peace for Raisha's family. They had been living in constant fear with Justin still on the loose, and his arrest was a bittersweet moment. It didn't bring Raisha back, but it offered some measure of justice for her and her children.
Of a pregnant mother killed in her parents' driveway says they're relieved the police have made an arrest now. They say that while the suspect was on the run, he was posting on social media and even responding to their posts. Channel 2's Tom Jones live at DeKalb County, where the family says this isn't the first time they've lost a loved one to gun violence.
As Raisha's family continued to process their loss, they reflected on the years of abuse that led to this tragic moment. Justin's history of violence was known to some, but it had not been acted upon in a way that could have prevented this tragedy. Just like our next case, the victim would not live to tell the story. She was a mother, heavily pregnant, surrounded by the people she loved, and yet in the place she should have felt safest, her life was stolen. Born on May 22, 1989 in Toledo, Ohio, Tamisha Price was the youngest of 4 children and the only daughter. Growing up, she was cherished by her family, and her bond with her 3 older brothers was inseparable. Tamisha's parents, Tyler and Stacy Price, were her rock, providing unwavering love and support throughout her life. As a child, Tamisha's spirit was one of joy and playfulness. She attended Rogers High School and later pursued her studies at Apostolic Christian Academy, a private faith-based school. Her natural inclination to help others led her to study healthcare at Herzing University, where she focused on nursing and patient care. But her caring heart extended beyond academics. Tamisha also volunteered at local clinics, showcasing her selflessness and determination to improve the lives of others. Tamisha was passionate about life, and as an adult, she continued to follow her dreams. Her interests included creative outlets like painting and writing, balancing her career pursuits with hobbies that allowed her to express her vibrant personality. And that included falling in love, something that would change her life in ways she never expected. In her early 20s, Tamisha fell in love with a man who became the father of her 2 sons, Jaden Keyshawn and Leslie Michael. Her life revolved around her children, who were her greatest joy. Jaden had a passion for drumming, which his father nurtured. While Leslie had dreams of playing basketball. Tamisha's devotion to her children was unwavering, and she worked tirelessly to give them the life they deserved. As Tamisha's children grew older, she felt the pull to pursue her passions. With her love for fashion, shopping, and travel, she decided to take her interests to the next level. But she wasn't content just indulging in these passions for herself. Instead, she transformed them into something bigger, a platform where she could share her unique style and energy with the world. She posted videos across multiple platforms, effortlessly blending humor and authenticity into every piece of content.
I really ain't gotta post nothing from the neck down. And that's a flex, let me tell you.
Her natural charisma and laid-back, fun-loving nature quickly won her a loyal following. And for a time, it seemed like Tamisha had it all. But as often as we've seen, there's always a calm before the storm. Just as she was hitting her stride, life threw her a curveball. Her relationship with the father of her 2 sons began to unravel, slipping into a toxic and unhealthy space. With her children's well-being at the forefront of her mind, she knew she had to make a difficult decision. She walked away, choosing to protect her sons and create a healthier environment for them. As she began to rebuild her life from the ground up, Tamisha poured herself into her work, spending long hours to ensure that her sons, Jaden and Leslie, had everything they needed. But as she grew stronger in her independence, something unexpected happened, an encounter that would set her on a new path, one that would change her journey once again. During this period of transformation, Tamisha met a man named Paris James. Little did she know, their meeting would spark a connection that would impact her life in ways she never anticipated. Paris was not a clean slate. He had a controversial past, a history of police disturbances, but that didn't deter Tamisha from seeing the potential in him. She focused on their present and their future together, while Paris admired her strength as a mother. The relationship grew stronger, that was until the storm would come. By late 2023, Tamisha discovered she was pregnant with their daughter. This was a joyful occasion for her. The news of her first baby girl, Tamisha Price, filled her with excitement. She had already named her and looked forward to welcoming her into the world. However, things soon took a dark turn. Paris, who had once seemed like a potential partner for a promising future, began showing signs of insecurity. Paris wasn't prepared to be a father, and he made that clear to Tamisha in a hurtful and degrading way for all the months they were together. He went further to question whether he was the father of Tamisha's unborn child, and even accused her of infidelity. These accusations were hurtful and unfounded, as Tamisha had been honest with him from the start. But as painful as Paris's words were, they were nothing compared to the shock that was yet to come. Despite the pain these words caused, Tamisha tried to stay focused on the future. She remained excited about her baby girl and began planning a baby shower, a celebration she wanted to make special. But little did she know, Paris was secretly plotting something far more sinister. On the morning of January 24th, 2024, a chilling phone call was made to 911. Tamisha's child reported that her mother had been shot. When police arrived at the scene, they found Tamisha lying unresponsive in her bedroom, having suffered multiple gunshot wounds. But despite the best efforts of emergency responders, Tamisha was pronounced dead on the scene.
Toledo police say a pregnant woman is dead after a shooting in South Toledo. According to the report, it happened on Norton Place near Reynolds and Airport around 5 this morning. Officers got a call about a person shot. When they got to the scene, they found the pregnant woman, Tamisha Price, suffering from at least one gunshot wound. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene.
But what investigators discovered next would change everything. The most heart-wrenching detail of this tragedy was that her 2 sons, Jaden and Leslie, witnessed the entire event. They saw their mother shot before running to hide, leaving them scarred and shaken. Later, they would provide crucial information to the police, helping them in their investigation. Paris James, the man Tamisha had trusted and loved, was arrested shortly after the murder. He was charged with aggravated murder, while his accomplice, Jerry Scott, also faced similar charges. The pair had planned and executed the deadly attack, and they weren't alone. Shatwia Triplet, Paris's girlfriend, was also involved, as she had provided a false alibi for Paris, which was later proven to be false. But how did the group plan and execute Tamisha's murder? Paris planned the killing because he doubted the unborn child was his. And when Tamisha refused to get an abortion, his frustration turned violent. As Tamisha was busy planning her baby shower with friends and family, Paris was secretly planning her death. He got his accomplices and set up alibis for himself, ensuring that everything looked normal from the outside. Just a week after the baby shower, they set their sinister plan into motion. The group all came together under leadership of Paris to plot Tamisha's death. On that fateful morning, Paris James and Jerry Scott arrived at Tamisha's home just before dawn, their intentions far darker than a mere confrontation. What started as a tense discussion about their relationship spiraled into something terrifying. Armed with handguns, Paris and Jerry had discussed their plan to intimidate Tamisha to submission, to make her feel trapped, powerless. Their goal wasn't just to control her, they wanted to send a chilling message. She couldn't walk away from them, not so easily. Paris knocked on the door, and when Tamisha opened it, the words flew fast and furious. The argument quickly escalated, becoming a full-blown confrontation over her pregnancy. Paris accused her of betrayal, threatening her with violence if she didn't comply with his demands. The heated exchange grew more hostile by the second, and soon Jerry joined in, throwing insults and aggression into the already volatile mix. The situation was rapidly spiraling out of control. Feeling cornered and terrified, Tamisha tried to retreat, moving toward her bedroom in an attempt to escape the suffocating tension. But Paris wasn't done.
His fury had reached its breaking point. In a fit of blind rage, he allegedly pulled out his gun and fired several shots at Tamisha as she tried to flee. The sound of gunfire shattered the morning calm, and her children, who had been helplessly watching the argument unfold, ran in fear, hiding as the violence erupted. Meanwhile, Jerry remained in the living room, playing the role of an accomplice, ensuring that no one would intervene. Paris, convinced that Tamisha, his pregnant girlfriend, wouldn't survive, fled the scene with Jerry, leaving behind the chaos they had wrought. After what seems like an agonizing silence, Tamisha's boys returned to find their mother lying lifeless. It was at that moment they called 911, their voices filled with panic as they desperately sought help for the woman who had just moments earlier been their rock. Paris James was charged with aggravated murder, while Jerry Scott, his willing accomplice, faced similar charges. But the web of deception didn't end there. Shatouya Triplett, James's living girlfriend, was charged with obstructing justice after it was revealed that she had provided a false alibi for Paris, one that was quickly proven to be a lie. On July 28, 2025, Lucas County Common Pleas Court handed down sentences to Paris James and Jerry Scott for the murder of Tamisha Price and her unborn daughter, Malaysia. Judge Linda Jennings imposed life imprisonment without the possibility of parole on both men for 2 counts of aggravated murder. In addition, each defendant received consecutive sentences of 18 to 23 years for aggravated burglary and tampering with evidence, ensuring they will never be released from prison.
To 2 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole for their roles in killing a pregnant woman.
Judge Eric Marks handing down the sentence this afternoon in front of a packed courtroom. 13 Action News reporter Alexis Means was in the courtroom and is live now with the latest details.
Lee and Sasha, the victim's family wrote in a statement that words can't express the damage that these men have caused to their family.
During sentencing, the court emphasized the premeditated and calculated nature of the crime. Prosecutors highlighted that James had pressured Price to terminate her pregnancy and, when she refused, conspired with Scott to end her life. The judge described the act as a brutal violation of trust and humanity, noting that Price's 2 surviving children were left without their mother and her unborn daughter was denied a chance at life. Tamisha's parents, Tyler and Stacy Price, were devastated by the loss of their daughter, but they found solace in the support of their community. A GoFundMe campaign was set up to help with funeral expenses and to support Tamisha's children, who now had to grow up without their mother. Tamisha's legacy is one of strength, love, and resilience. Her tragic death has left an indelible mark on her family, her community, and those who loved her. While she is no longer physically with them, her children, Jaden and Leslie, will carry on her memory and her spirit. 2 women, 2 mothers, 2 lives cut short before they could welcome the children they carried. Both murdered in the presence of their children. Both believed they were moving through ordinary days,
clueless that the same people that should protect them were planning their deaths. Their stories remind us that tragedy often hides in plain sight, striking when least expected. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.